Imagine being trapped in a submarine hundreds of meters below the ocean's surface. Power is gone, communication is limited, the air is running out. The crew has one last chance, escaping into the crushing deep sea. But how do you get a human being safely out of a steel tube that's sitting under extreme pressure and back to the surface alive? Today, we're exploring the incredible systems submariners train on, but hope they'll never use: submarine escape and rescue systems. Submarines are some of the most sophisticated and dangerous machines ever built. They operate in one of the harshest environments on Earth, deep underwater where the pressure is immense. At just 300 meters, the ocean pushes against the hull with a force of about 30 times atmospheric pressure. If something goes wrong, whether it's a fire, flooding, or mechanical failure, rescue is extremely complicated. History reminds us how deadly these accidents can be. Incidents like the sinking of the Russian submarine Kursk in 2000 or the USS Thresher in 1963 show how quickly disaster can strike. That's why navies around the world have developed escape systems, last resort options for when a submarine can't surface on its own and rescuers can't reach it in time. There are basically two strategies for getting trapped sailors out of a submarine: rescue and escape. Rescue means external help, mini submarines or diving bells that latch onto the escape hatch and ferry sailors to the surface. These are safer and always the preferred option, but take time to mobilize. Escape, on the other hand, is when the crew gets themselves out, using specialized suits and hatches to literally swim to the surface from depth. It's a last resort. It's dangerous. It's risky, but it can save lives if immediate rescue isn't possible. Let's start with the rescue option. When a submarine can't surface, the preferred option is to send help down. That's where submarine rescue vehicles come in. These are small crewed submersibles designed to dock onto a submarine's escape hatch, even in deep water. Once they form a seal, they act like a shuttle, loading groups of sailors and carrying them safely back to the surface. Modern vehicles like the NATO Submarine Rescue System or the US Navy's Deep Submergence Rescue Vehicle can dive to depths of about 600 meters. They're air transportable, meaning they can be flown around the world and launched from ships in an emergency. The docking process is delicate. The SRV has to find the disabled submarine on the seafloor, maneuver into position, and attach without breaking the seal. Once locked, survivors climb aboard, and the SRV surfaces to offload them. It then repeats the trip until everyone is out. This system is far safer than free escape because it avoids the risks of decompression sickness and exposure. But the challenge is time. Mobilizing a rescue vehicle and getting it on site can take days, and they only hold about a dozen people at a time. So if a submarine is sinking to crushed depth, this probably is not an option, which is why escape systems are still kept as a backup. Submarines are fitted with escape trunks, basically airlocks built into the hull. Think of them like a diving chamber that can hold 2 or 3 sailors at a time. Here's how they work. The sailors climb into the escape trunk and seal the inner hatch behind them. The chamber floods with seawater to equalize pressure with the ocean outside. Once the pressure is balanced, the outer hatch can be opened safely. The sailors then push out and begin their ascent to the surface. This process is stressful, dangerous, and physically demanding. Flooding the chamber means you're standing in cold, dark seawater, waiting for the signal that it's time to leave. To survive the journey upward, submariners rely on specialized escape suits. The most advanced is the Submarine Escape Immersion Equipment Suit used by NATO navies. It's like an orange inflatable survival suit that covers the entire body. It has a built-in life raft, thermal insulation, and most importantly, a breathing system that prevents lungs from bursting as pressure drops during ascent. As the sailor leaves the hatch, the suit inflates, turning the person into a human buoy. They rocket upward at about 2 to 3 meters per second, fast enough to reach the surface from 180 meters in just over a minute. But the speed comes with risks. Rapid ascents can cause decompression sickness, or the bends, as nitrogen bubbles form in the blood. That's why escape training is so strict. Crews practice in tall training tanks, learning how to exhale properly, control panic, and let the suit do the work. Escape is only possible up to a certain depth. With modern SEIE suits, trained submariners can escape from around 180 meters deep, and in some cases even deeper. Below that, the risks of decompression illness and lung damage skyrocket. That's why submarines are usually designed to operate within depths where escape is at least theoretically possible. Beyond that, rescue is the only hope. Reaching the surface isn't the end of the ordeal. The sailor emerges into open ocean, possibly in rough seas, cold water, and with no land in sight. That's where the survival gear built into the SEIE suit comes in. The suit inflates into a mini life raft, helping the sailor stay afloat invisible until rescuers arrive. Navies worldwide put their submarine crews through grueling escape training. Massive escape towers, essentially indoor lakes stretching up several stories, allow sailors to practice escaping under controlled conditions. They experience the flooding chamber, the rapid ascent, and the disorienting rush to the surface. The reality, though, is sobering. In a real submarine accident, conditions are chaotic. Flooding, smoke, injuries, cold. Coordinating an orderly escape is one of the hardest things a crew could ever attempt, which is why most navies consider escape the last resort, only to be attempted if rescue is impossible. Submarine rescue and escape systems are a haunting reminder of the risks submariners face every time they dive beneath the waves. These systems, rescue vehicles, escape trunks, pressurized suits, exist in the hope that they'll never be needed. But if the unthinkable happens, they can mean the difference between life and death.